Today's episode is different from what you're used to. I get this question a lot, especially from fellow insurance agents in the business. Mama Bima, what is your advice to young or new insurance agents? And so for today's episode, this is a special dedication to my amazing colleague in the insurance business. Karibuni sana to this episode. My name is Mama Bima Kenya, a licensed insurance agent and dedicated and passionate insurance educator in the 254. I'm 5 years in the insurance business, so I'm not yet sure, but you know what wanaona, hey, Mama Bima, but I still feel, there are those days that I really feel like I'm just a rookie in the business. I am still learning, but I can really appreciate the fact that, even just career-wise, I've been able to grow in leaps and bounds, get recognition, probably because I do my business quite uniquely. Hey, look at me, your insurance, content creator or something, So it's a blessing, but I clocked 5 years in the insurance business in October of 2024. Before I joined the business, I had done 8 years in corporate Kenya. I started out my career in stock brokerage, then I went to a fund management company, and lastly, my last professional gig was in an investment bank where I was a customer experience manager. And in 2019, that month I was about to turn 33. I was no longer happy with where I was or where my career was heading to. Fortunately, along the way, I got married to an insurance agent. Yay! Hey, Baba Bima. And it made me just see this whole new realm of insurance agents. Because I remember at the time we used to live in Kinoo and we got our baby. And of course, now his colleagues would come to visit us, okay, in our place. On a random Wednesday, I'm still on my maternity leave, and his colleagues came kushika kushogia kushika mtoto. Let me tell you, si walijaza parking yetu, and not just with any cars. Like we had two young, beautiful girls driving in, with Mercedes. Yani, I am just there thinking, what? Like, please, what is this? Like, Yani, this is the face of insurance agents. At that time, I told you I was a whole manager kwa banki kuu. You get? Now, like my hubby would leave me in the morning, like when going to work. I would always be pale kwa super metro. You get? So, Yani, just seeing these colleagues who can actually go to visit, their colleague on a random Wednesday afternoon. I think that already just told me all that I needed, to get from that, because when I think of my corporate life, like weekdays were so taken. Like I had zero room to do things, to visit friends, to be there for friends, etc. So just seeing this group of, insurance agents who just filled our small sitting room at that point. And let me tell you, that afternoon, our house was full of laughter. That laughter that feels like it's coming from the belly. Like they were so happy, they were singing, they just ate the food with so much joy. And I think for the first time, when they left our home that evening, I was just at a point of like, wait, have I missed out on something? Like, there is an opportunity within this insurance business. And anyway, fast forward to 2019, September, also at a point where my career just felt really stagnated. My work environment, it just gave more fear than joy. I handed in my resignation. My last day was on 4th of October, 2019. The next working day, I joined, Joe. Fortunately, I told you my husband was already in insurance. So the next working day, nilirauka and went to work as an insurance agent. Let me tell you, I had zero experience in sales. Okay, so zero experience in sales, but I was very, I was just upbeat because I think I am one of those people who actually abide by, that quote of hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. I am one of those people. For me, and I keep saying this, my godfather is hard work, guys. Every time I look back at my life everything I've been able to achieve, say, to date, if there's one theme, that just stands out, whether it was in school, whether in my upbringing, from all the way in primary school, if there's one theme that just stays very consistent, is the fact that, by the way, Mama Bima is a hard worker. I'll be in a pool of crazy talent. Like, I remember, like, in campus, my classmates. So I did literature in college, and I was just in a class of the most talented individuals that you can think of. Like, if I started name dropping, I'm talking of Akina Silas Nyantrani. I'm talking of Akina David Osiani. I'm talking about Akina Carol, your health coach. Like, the people in my literature class, and literature classes just had a handful of students. Like, by fourth year, we were only 10 people in our class. The caliber of students that we had in our class, wow. Now you think of Charlene or Mama Bima, like, honestly, I think the one thing that just stood out about me was just the fact that I was so hardworking. I would get to class very early. I would write the neatest notes. Nilikuwa nasoma. Whether we are given Russian literature, I will read, like, to the detail, writing notes. Like, I was just that kind of student. And I think that is something that has been there since I was a very young girl, through to college, and even now to how I just do, like, my career, even as an insurance agent and an insurance entrepreneur. Now, let's come back to present day. So 2019, I got into the insurance industry. First, I was fortunate that I got to join my husband in the business, in our insurance agency, Places Insurance Agency. But I started out from scratch. Like, I didn't have any, like, sales skills. I had been a desk employee before that, doing customer experience. I was very pleasant, just, pleasant. But out here, now insurance sales, no, this just turned out to be something totally different. But I think from the word go, I would just remember that image of the agents who came to our house, kushogia, our little baby, and I would be like, hey, honestly, I want a piece of that. So 5 years into the business, I must say the first few years were tough. And this is probably the story for most new insurance agents when they just get started. So when that question is usually posed to me, like, Mama Bima, what advice do you have for new insurance agents? Number one, please hang in there. Hang in there. And especially during the formative stages of your career, when you're just getting started, this is a point for us to learn. But then when I started out in this career, shortly after, of course, when I started out, COVID hit. So it meant now that tulifungiwa kwa manyumba, like that. The one thing that has always remained so consistent with me is that I believe in upskilling. Like, I am one of those agents where I hear company X has a training, utanpata hapo online, just learning. Company this has a training. Like, I just never get tired of learning. I just got into the industry very hungry to just learn about products, learn about processes, learn how to improve my sales skills, learn how to prospect, where to get started. Like, I just never got tired of that. In the first few months, of course, it was so tough because I remember, like, my very first month, I think in insurance, I only sold either one motor insurance cover and only one medical insurance policy. Like, it was T for tough. I mean, that is what, 2019 October, selling one medical insurance. And I mean, 5 years in 2024, you even get a month where you're able to sell over 120 policies, 120 medical insurance policies. By the way, to the young insurance agents out there, just trust the process. When it's starting off, like, you're passed through, fire, but it just needs to have that grit to just hang in there. That is usually my key thing, because starting out probably in a sales career, maybe without having built your brand, and you really have to start from scratch. You just don't approach people and say, buy insurance. You start by also earning their trust, so that they can also give you that opportunity to have a discovery call with them and so on. So it's quite a process. For most of us, it doesn't just start out like this. But I can tell you, by December of 2019, I remember I sold a very big case. It was a unit-linked product that paid me more than the net that I was earning in my previous employer. Hey, let me tell you, I just told God, this is the sign I needed. Like, I'm here to stay. I am not going to work on my CV and send it where. Like, I'm here to become an insurance agent and stick to this. And the truth is, this has proved to be like the most fulfilling career of my life. Like, I love what I do. If I were to be given, I don't know what title, like, I would never abandon like the line that I have taken, career-wise. Like, and that's why like I embrace. Rarely do you ever hear me calling myself a financial advisor? No. I love and I'm so proud of being an insurance agent. Like, mimi huwa navaa hii title with so much pride. Like, I get so happy because first, there's all the pride of knowing that, I get to be in a career that has so much impact. And when I talk of impact, you do claims. I remember the very first time that I had such a moment, those goosebump inducing moments. I was along Kiambu Road. I had just seen a client. So I was at a petrol station. I had parked. And this young girl from Mombasa calls me. She was my medical insurance client. And she had taken a standalone cover for her child. And she called me. I hadn't even known that they had been admitted in hospital. So she called me. She tells me, you know what, Charlene? We were admitted in hospital like towards the end of last week. And today we have just finished. Like, now they were being discharged from Hosi. And she told me, they had not even been charged a shilling. Like, she was so happy. She was just detailing everything. She was telling me that even when they got to hospital, how easy it was for the admission, how her lodger fee just kicked in immediately. So she was able to also stay in hospital with her child and accommodated and being given food. And she was wondering, like, what is happening? You mean like that 25K I had paid for my child's medical is affording me like all this? And by the end of the day, when they were checking out, like, they did not pay a shilling. During that call, and I think it was one of those moments, when you realize and you tell yourself, enyewe, like, this is what I'm meant to do. This is it. This is my calling. I love this job. I love just feeling that, hearing the impact, a young 20-something-year-old at the coast being that happy. At one point, I even had another client who, still very young girl in her 20s, her baby was unwell. The child was admitted at Gertrude's here in Nairobi. And she told me, like, when the family went to visit the child in hospital, they were wondering, wait, kweli nani wetu became rich? Like, how are they in Gertrude's? And she was making so much fun. She would tell me, because they were in a private room. So, and she would tell me, like, the brother would even pass by the hospital to come and eat during meals, like, to come eat, like, hamini, like, but it's just that moment of her telling me, like, my mom is there wondering, wait, kweli hujatuambia hii pesa inatoka wapi? So I think those moments early on in my career just started solidifying for me the fact that, I'm in the right career. Like, it has so much impact. You can feel it when you're able to change people's lives, You can feel the joy, when you say go to condole with a client and also maybe a friend, and maybe it's even during the burial, and your client sees you walking in, maybe in the dome, and she sends her assistant to get you at the very back huko nyuma, ukuje ukae hapa with the family. She's like, no, that's my insurance agent, please go for her. Akuje akae hapa, because of the joy that they feel that maybe you picked out, just a last expense cover for them. That is now for their parents, and now unfortunately they are gone. But they have this gratitude to you for walking that journey. Yani hiyo kuachanua, and they know at that point, there's this 400K being paid out to the family to cater for all these costs that happen during like burial expenses and all. If I had given up earlier in my career, probably I wouldn't have gotten to this point, But so I always say, when you come into the insurance business, boy, please just hang in there. It's a tough one because huku hakuna retainer, that. There's no retainer. It's fully commission based. It's that October where you sell that one motor and one medical cover. You're even wondering, how will I, even foot my fare, my transport for the next month? So it can get really tough, but I can assure you, when you just hang in there a little bit, when you turn on that gear of hard work, oh my Lord, in a few years, you'll just be looking back and saying, thank God, I just stuck in there. I would also say a tip that I have for young agents, times that we are currently living in, this digital age, hii ni mambo yenu. You are the people who understand this so well. Can you be creative about how you go about your business? I remember when I came into the business, I can't remember any insurance agent who had like a social media presence or was doing much, say, on social media. I used to wonder, kwanini, like nobody is on social media just talking about like insurance. Even for the few agencies, you would find maybe they have a Facebook page or so. It was just a faceless kind of brand. Especially after COVID, I saw the need to actually get into that space. Just be creative. Okay, I must also tell you, I really struggled with doing like door-to-door sales. Hey, but then me, nowadays people see the persona that is Mama Bima. I can be shy. Eburusha me na networking events, then mnieke mahali. You'll just find me in my car, small corner, wondering, hii naisha sangapi, I go home. It's not my strength. Like in 2020, I came to the realization that I needed to look for a different way of approaching my business. And especially after COVID, I really felt that, social media could just be it. And let me tell you, you guys, if you have time and you scroll down, because if you ever went to my Facebook page, you scroll down to my very early posts. Ata mnaweza nifilia. Mtanifilia, sorry. I was so green. I did not even know what I was doing on social media. Some people are like, maybe she was already good at social media. Wapi. Kwanza, I had zero presence on social media. Like, I remember creating my Shalinjo profile on Facebook so that I could open the Mama Bima page. That started in 2020. That is when now I actually got into social media because I saw it as a platform for my business. And I started out to pale with struggles. You should have seen my car phone, the phone I was using back then. You should go and look out for my videos. They were grainy. I didn't even know how to do my makeup. Like, oh my Lord, I just used to have back then, I didn't even have access to Maggie Hope to come soup me up, help me put on some nice hair, and look the part. I didn't have professional videography. I just started from scratch with my grainy phone, and I used to sumbua my hubby. He used to be like my tripod niya na nishikia hivi. Then naangalia ile simu inastahili kuchukua the very good videos. But the truth is, you have to start somewhere. I also feel that some of us wait for that perfect moment. When I will get a nice phone. When I will get that latest iPhone. 16? Eventually itakuja. Yenye utafikia hizo siku itakuja. But can you just get started with where you are? Just be creative on how you want to undertake your business. So for me at that point, it was social media, because I felt that, and especially from the learnings of COVID, where there was this total lockdown and we could barely do our business as usual. I felt that if I can create a platform that I use to educate Kenyans at large, maybe people will start interacting with my content. And if they come across a post maybe where I'm talking about motor insurance or life insurance and they're interested, they could just give me an opportunity to work with them. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa kiini na chanzo cha going onto social media. And you see, and it worked. And I keep saying, young people, you are the digital age children. If you are getting into insurance, be creative about how you want to do your biashara, by the way. You have at your disposal so many social media platforms. Please take up your rightful spaces within those platforms, and hopefully those platforms will also end up give you avenues for prospecting and also meeting amazing clients. And let me tell you something, guys. 99, and I like to say it's probably 100%, but 99.9% of my business comes from social media. Meskia, like 5 years in this business, possibly 5 years since I went onto social media, 99%. So when you hear CG, Mama Bima is the number 2 agent in medical insurance or the number 1 agent in medical insurance, si ati ni watu najua, sina tenda ya popote. Nope. It's just young clients giving me an opportunity, and our relationship actually starts on social media. The other thing I would tell young agents coming into the business is, amsha your entrepreneurial spirit. I remember coming into this industry and wondering, why do like our insurance agents, even the legends, at that point I would be told, you see that one, you learn in a. So like there were all these big people, driving big cars, living in fancy neighborhoods and all, sort of like scrutinize their business model. It always felt like they were lone rangers. Do you get? Ata mtu hana PA, hana secretary, nothing. Like they were the ones who would sell, who would do follow-ups with the insurance companies. And I used to wonder, That is something that I didn't embrace, by the way. I thank God, I'm one of those people. I believe I want, and I'm keen on also creating employment, for example, through my agency and also as Mama Bima. And if there's something from the word go, that was always at the back of my mind, I would be like, you know what? When I get to a point where I can afford, to bring on board and I can run a payroll, I feel that maybe we need to bring in this type of help within the business. It's still something that I find a lot of maybe agents, especially quote unquote like old school agents, are still yet kuamsha that entrepreneurial spirit. Please, young agents, please look at your debit as a business. Ask yourself, how can I scale this up? And you'll get an answer for that. And I think that will lead you to just massive success within the business. And lastly, I cannot overemphasize on this. Please work hard. You heard what I told you? Hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. I really believe in kujituma. For example, at this point when say I'm creating this content for you. We were shooting all day yesterday. I got home at 5 in the morning. We were back shooting again at 10 this morning. And we will probably, it's already now nighttime, we'll probably be doing this until almost 4 in the morning. So hard work, that is something I cannot overly emphasize. When you're young, you have the stamina. Kona hiyo nguvu, jitume tu, So I keep saying jitume. You have the time probably at this point. Ensure that you really give it your all. This career for me, I like to say this was my calling. I don't even know why I spent 8 years in corporate Kenya. I get so happy that I found my way, into insurance. I get so happy that I met my husband and he was an insurance agent, because eventually, my career path finally, came onto the path of insurance. It's a very fulfilling career. It's a career where you are not just a salesperson. You end up wearing so many hats. You become like a therapist, you become a great friend to your clients. It almost feels like you become part of the family. Today, I received such a good testimonial. Let me just read something for you. And let me tell you, these things fill my heart. Today, we'll call her AM. She wrote to me this morning and said, "Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, Charlene. You gave me one of the best gifts when you advised my mom on how to go about her retirement plan. God bless you." And she said, "Also, congratulations on your COT qualification. I may not understand it fully, but it's a big deal and I applaud you." Let me tell you, hii career, kuguza roho. Ukijituma, if you do this from your heart. I remember when I met AM. At that point, by the way, it was at that point, ata sikuwa na kagari. Nowadays you see me in my car, small Duducides, my academia. Back then, I used to commute, Kwanza nilikuwa nimejenga brand kubwa on social media, but sikuwa na kakitu. So I was forever on Anduthi. And I remember the estate where AM lives is quite exclusive. Hakuna ma3. So I would take Anduthi all the way hadi kwa gate yao. Nilikuwa najitolea. You get, we had so many sessions. Her mom was, just at the brink of retirement. She was so worried. She didn't know who would advise her well. But fortunately, because AM highly recommended me, we sat down over 2 sessions. I took her through her retirement options and we settled on a really great annuity product. And now she sent me this message this morning and it was so fulfilling. Like, I can tell you, if you are taking a chance in this insurance career, it's a great career. Let nobody derail you. It's fulfilling. You have so much impact in people's lives. So if you're that person who honestly, you genuinely love people, you want to make a difference in people's lives, and you also want to make a difference in your life. Simeskia nilitoka from Duthi, now I'm in my debut and I'm still dreaming of driving my supercharger one day. I'm on my GLE. Nakuja, you see, like the dreams are still there. And what I love about a sales career is that you can dare to dream. You can honestly dare to dream, because this career really feels like your hard work equals to what you get at the end of the day. And I think it's the best kind of career you can ever have, because as long as you exert yourself, as long as you keep going, as long as you have God, at the center of your business, okay, it shall be well. So that's it from me, Mama Bima's desk. Thank you so much for your time. I wanted to do this special episode because other than just being an insurance educator, it's also my obligation, an agent who stands out within the business, to also encourage and mentor younger agents who are coming into the insurance field. So if you would like to have a conversation with me, feel free to reach out. Below, you have my mamabima@places.co.ke email. You also have my number, +254 739 040 400. I'm actually always willing, to grab a cup of coffee, and you can always, you can rest assured, I'm the big sister. Nitakununulia hiyo kahawa. You can visit us at the office. Just come. I really also want, other than coming into the business and impacting so many Kenyans, I also do hope that at the end of the day, when also my story is written, it can be said, she also held, the hands of younger agents and mentored them in the business. So thank you so much for your time. Always a pleasure. My name is Mama Bima Kenya, a licensed insurance agent in the 254 and a passionate insurance educator. And until next time, as our slogan says, stay insured.